Cloak threadbare in beggar's rags, he shivered amidst the grime of the polluted street. Society had rejected him, and he had lost all hope in human goodness. One night, while he was at the verge of death, a stranger comes and lifts him out of the grime. This stranger bids him to come into the warm light and gives him food and shelter. This is a story of Jean Valjean, the protagonist of the 2012 film Les Miserables. And through this random act of helpfulness, Jean Valjean gains the faith to change and the courage to carry on. This story reminds me of the quote by the great Roman philosopher Lucius Seneca, which states, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." I interpret this quote to mean that we human beings have the power to touch people's lives, and therefore we need to use this power for good, to show kindness. I wholeheartedly agree with this quote because there have been times when I have been feeling down and someone was there to encourage me to move forward and carry on. Today, we will discuss 3 points that effectively illustrate this quote. First, we have the Origins episode of Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Second, we have Cinderella II. And third, we will look at the parable of the Good Samaritan. To begin, we have Maracas, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. If you haven't seen the show, it's about 2 superheroes who save Paris on a daily basis. But these superheroes weren't always great and powerful at first. They started as ordinary Marinette and Adrian, like you and me. But because of their unfailing kindness, the guardian of the Maracas box chose them as the next superheroes for Paris, seeing them as worthy of that great responsibility. This ties back to our quote, which shows that the basis of a true superhero is the strength to show kindness. Now, let's jump into the second example, Cinderella II. We all know about Disney's Cinderella, but many are unfamiliar of the sequel. In the sequel, we revisit the life of Anastasia, Cinderella's second stepsister. They happen to bump into each other at a marketplace, where Cinderella finds out that Anastasia feels love for the very first time. Unlike her mice friends, she doesn't laugh at the occurrence. Instead, she decides to give Anastasia a helping hand. She gives her a makeover and gives her tips to pursue the man of her affection. This ties back to her quote by showing that even though her stepsister had been so cruel to her in the past, Cinderella decides to show her stepsister kindness. And this show of kindness gives Anastasia the chance to grow and show kindness to others in return. Lastly, we are going to visit the Good Samaritan. People are often called a Good Samaritan when they illustrate a random act of kindness. In this story or parable, a Jewish man is assaulted and robbed and left in the middle of the desert for dead. A priest passes by this battered man and keeps walking on. Another religious leader passes by and also ignores the hurt man. However, lo and behold, a Samaritan, a known enemy of the Jews, passes by and takes compassion on this stranger. He lifts him up, puts him on his donkey, and takes care of his wounds. This story illustrates the quote once again by showing that there are many people out there that are just needing for that one Good Samaritan. Now, to revisit the quote, which is, wherever there's a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. I interpreted this quote to mean that we human beings have the profound power of touching other people's lives to show kindness, and therefore we should. I agree with this quote because it encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and use our abilities for good. Today we've discussed the origins of the superheroes Ladybug and Cat Noir, who are seen fit through their act of kindness. And number 2, we looked at Cinderella, who helped out her evil stepsister. And thirdly, we finally come back to the Good Samaritan, who showed kindness to a stranger. As for Jean Valjean, he was a reject of society, and he was a person needing help. There are many Jean Valjeans out there waiting for that outstretched palm. Will you be the person who will help?